Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, who the hell am I? Why do I feel like such a little boy? I want to be a man, I should be a man, but I'm not, and I don't know how to be. It's a really frustrating place to be, and it's a terrible feeling. It's one that I struggled with for a long time. I felt like such a little boy inside. I was getting older, I was growing, my body was changing, and I just felt like a little boy. I thought that maturity and manhood would come with age. You would just somehow figure it out, and it didn't happen for me. I just felt lost. I felt left behind, my own self. So I was watching myself grow and feeling like a stunted little kid inside who's scared, who's afraid, who's angry, doesn't know how to handle emotion, doesn't know how to handle his life, doesn't know how to just be a man. I got married, I had a baby, I had a business, being a father, a husband, a business owner, all these things, you'd think like that makes a man out of you. It doesn't by itself. These externals were not making me a man. I had to go internal. I had to fight the battle within me to become a man. I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn that until I changed internally, my life wouldn't change around me. The externals might be shifting, but things naturally progress around you, but if you're not changing inside, you're not going to grow with it, you're going to be left behind. I was watching my life pass me by, and I wasn't growing. It was deeply frustrating, and I said, that's enough. I had to awaken the warrior within me, to take charge, to take control, to fight for my life. And I want to show you how to do the same. I want to show you the process that took me from a boy to a man. Because before that it felt like just some kind of a frustrating secret handshake that these other guys had figured out. And I couldn't guess the right handshake, so I guess I couldn't be a man. And that's pretty frustrating. And it's not the way that it is. There's an actual process that you can take. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you need to grow, that you need to be more of a man, I'm here to show you that process, as I've shown others. I coached others on how to take these steps, the same steps that I've taken, to go from a boy to a man. I want to show you as the principles of the three principles, the foundational principles of Awaken the Warrior coaching are that the warrior knows the person that he is. The warrior lives with purpose, and the warrior acts with power. I want to take you through what all of these mean and how they can affect your life and change your life starting now. The first one is person. You have to know who you are. You have to know yourself. If you do not know yourself, you can't start. And it starts with taking ownership, taking responsibility, recognizing that your life is the result of your decisions and yours alone. You are not the result of any external situations. You are not the result of your parents. You are not the result of your schooling, your teachers, the president, any of this stuff that we like to blame things for. As long as you are living in a pattern of blame, of blaming other people and situations for your circumstances, you will never grow. You only grow when you take ownership of your life. That's hard, but it's also good news because it means you alone are responsible for the growth in your life. You don't have to wait on those external circumstances. You don't have to wait on those other people to change or to say they're sorry or whatever it is that hurt you somehow. I'm not negating your pain, but you alone can change it. You alone can go through the process of healing. Okay, so stop blaming and take ownership of your life and acknowledge what are the beliefs that you hold about yourself. We all have a mask, an identity that we wear, and oftentimes it's a very false identity. It's one that we shape out of our experiences, out of a need to fit in, out of sometimes a need for survival. We wear a mask, a way of interacting with people, just something to try to fool ourselves and others into thinking that we're a certain way or that we feel a certain way. And oftentimes it's very false because we're afraid to really show our true selves, because showing your true self is a painful process, right? And a lot of times we get hurt early on when we're young, and so we learn to put on a mask out of survival, out of and out of fitting in, out of wanting to be cool. We have a false idea of what it means to be cool. Like being cool means suppressing your emotion. But you start suppressing your emotion and you lose yourself. So there's a process of getting back into who you really are. Because who you truly are is probably different than how you're living right now. And if you're out of alignment with your true self, you're going to feel pain. To the extent that you are out of alignment, the pain will be greater. So finding yourself is a powerful and important foundational piece of Awaken the Warrior. And it's something that we go through with our clients on the inside. But I want you to know this process right now so you can start today. The second piece is to live with purpose. Purpose. Your life must be lived with purpose. You have to live on purpose, or else you will just be subject to being guided by your circumstances, by the externals. You have to know where you're going. You know who you are. Now you have to know where you're going. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. I mean, what about somebody wandering in the desert trying to take it one day at a time? Where do you end up? You end up dead. It's like a ship at sea with no map, no direction, no destination. They might have the map, but they don't have a destination. They're going to go in circles. That's how your life is going to be without purpose. Without finding and knowing and living in alignment with your purpose, your life will just go in frustrating, counterproductive circles. Your purpose is found in your pain. If you're avoiding your pain in your life, you're not going to find your purpose. This is the way of the warrior. You have to be able to embrace pain. You have to be able to step into it and step through it. Because through your pain, through the path of pain, you find your purpose. Because the biggest pain, if there's one thing that you could solve in your life right now, one problem you could solve in your life, the biggest pain that you feel is probably linked to the purpose of your life. If you could solve that problem for yourself, you could solve that problem for others. And that's the purpose that will drive you. So purpose is where you're going and what drives you, both at the same time. So you have to find your pain. You find your purpose in your pain. You also have to think about what is the legacy you want to leave behind. If you're on your deathbed, what are you gonna regret not doing? Because if you're avoiding that pain too, the pain of the reality that you are mortal. We're all mortal. We're all gonna die at some point. It might come sooner or later, but you're gonna die. And at that point, at your deathbed, your time has run out. You have no more time. It's the only resource you can't get more of. So you better value your time, and you better look at what do you want to achieve with your time. It's probably not watching another TV series. You're not going to look back on that on your deathbed and say, oh good, I'm glad I watched every episode of The Office. I mean, it's fun, you know. But if that's the only thing you're doing, you're going to regret that. There's deeper things that I know that weigh on your heart, that tug on you, that you're probably not living out. You've got to start living with those things, acting on those things. Otherwise you're going to feel deep regret on your deathbed. What do you want people to say at your funeral? Think about that. If you're not thinking about that, you're not going to live your purpose. And you have to build your vision. When you know your purpose, you have to build them. How is that purpose going to manifest practically in your life? How are you going to do that? Are you going to have a business? Are you going to work somewhere in alignment with that purpose? Are you going to fund a nonprofit? What is it? What are you going to do? What's your vision? Your vision is the manifestation, the practical manifestation of your purpose in your life. So the warrior lives with purpose. And finally, the warrior acts with power. Okay? That means channeling your energy in a healthy way. This is one of the most profound foundational pieces. To channel your energy, where nobody's teaching you this. It's either suppress your energy or gratify it in an unhealthy way. Energy, this is the thing about energy. Energy must find a way. Energy will find a way. If you suppress energy, it will find another way. If you do not express energy in a healthy and productive way, it will find an unhealthy and destructive way to manifest itself. You have to manifest your energy. How do you channel that energy in a healthy way? And that's part of what we get into in Awaken the Warrior coaching, is how to channel your energy, how to channel your anger or your competitiveness, these things that can manifest in a negative way. Even your sex drive, your sexuality, how do you channel that in a healthy way so that it's giving power to your actions, not stealing the power from you, either through repression or just through constant gratification. Either one destroys you. And then the other piece of acting with power is to value your time, which links back to looking at your purpose, the end of your life. You gotta value your time. When you value your time, you act with power. because you know that your time is so limited and so precious. Don't manage your time. It's nonsense. It's so stupid. It's the way to live an employee lifestyle where you're always just trying to fill your time up like it's some kind of void that has to just kind of be filled with busy work. Value your time so you do what's important to you. Don't just fill it with nonsense and busyness. Act with power. Spend time with your family. Have a meaningful relationship with your kids. Build a powerful act to achieve your goals and your vision, not just filling your day with meaningless menial tasks that aren't moving you anywhere. It'll eat you up on the inside. So whether you've kind of got your life figured out, you feel like you've got a lot of things figured out and you know kind of where you're going, this is still going to be a powerful resource for you because it's going to clarify. It's going to help you get to your goals quicker and faster and stronger. And maybe you don't feel like you have anything figured out in your life. You don't know where to start. You feel like an absolute boy inside. This is for you. This will teach you how to change your life. This process that I'm showing you today is going to change your life dramatically. It will build your confidence and your self-esteem and make you feel like a real man. And if you're just somewhere in between, like you've got some stuff figured out, have a lot of questions about a lot of other stuff, it's also for you. This will clarify, it'll put the pieces into place and put you on the fast track to feeling empowered as a man. Living that empowered life that you want. But please act on what you've learned today. If you valued this information, act on it. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, get off the computer, get away from the distractions, and take some time to think about these 3 principles. Walk back through it. What do you believe about yourself? Who are you? What are the things that you're blaming on externals? Take ownership for that. Declare that your life is yours and the result of your decisions and actions, and that you will change your decisions and actions to be in alignment with what you want. Think about your purpose. Think about the legacy you want to leave. Think about what you want people saying at your funeral. Think about your deathbed and what you would regret and what you would look back on with pride. Write those down. Change your life today. Direct your energy in that way. Value your time. In ancient times, ancient cultures all had an initiation rite for their young men. They recognized that young men need guidance from going from a boy to a man, and that it's a thorny process and a needed process. We don't really have that in today's society. So you have to create that. You have to build your own initiation. Coaching is an opportunity for your initiation, for you to go through that process. Like the young men of those tribes would be taken out and be taught and go through a process to be from boy to man. This is the same thing for you today. So click the link below. Look forward to talking to you more. And thank you for watching.